Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we're talking 2025 bike predictions, what we think will happen and what we want to happen.
We also have hot tech where Campagnolo have edged their way back into the World Tour.
Woohoo!
Met have got 3 new gravel helmets. Wahoo have just released their most high-tech cycle computer to date. And we have the world's lightest pedals. Woohoo! Oh, and also we're in our new house.
Yeah. Finally, yes, we're in our new house, and I'm loving our new house. Do you like it?
Oh, I'm glad we're here. Amazing.
It's cool, isn't it? Well, look, let us know what you think of the new house in the comments, but we're loving it. Anyway, main talking point this week.
Yeah, 2025 is fast approaching, right? We've seen some brands already releasing bikes ahead of the new year. We've got some brands still holding out, not released anything yet. And then there's the inevitable leaked images that some bikes have appeared online. But what I think we should discuss is what we want to happen in 2025 and what we think is actually going to happen, because they're two very different things.
Yeah, so first up, what I want to actually happen is for more affordable bikes to come out.
Yeah.
Or like, we see lots of amazing Halo products, 10 grand super bikes, brands launching these all the time that sit at the top of the tree, all singing, all dancing, Formula One car bike equivalents, right? But I just would love to see brands spend as much time as they do R&Ding that as what they do with a, say, $500 to like $1,000 or pounds or euros price point. Because I feel that is the bottom of the pyramid. That is where the biggest demand is for bikes. And that is where you can grow cycling by getting people in. And you need to make that point of entry just more accessible. And that's what I really want to see, like a really good aluminium bike or something.
Better bikes for the masses. Yeah, I like the fact you said aluminium. So we did kind of speak about this a few shows back, didn't we? Saying how it would be cool to see that as a material evolve further, bikes be developed. Because it doesn't have to just be, if you have an aluminium bike, it's like Billy Basic. It can be made to be premium. It can be evolved. I don't quite think I'm going to go as far as you saying the same amount of R&D as like super bikes onto that kind of bike, because I think I'd be concerned it might bump up the price. But I get what you're saying.
Well, it's a matter of scale, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
You know, if you're selling 10,000 of those bikes, which you could do presumably at that level of the position in the market.
Well, it's a bigger pool of people.
Yeah, but the thing, interestingly, having spoken to some brands about this, a lot of smaller brands, even the more, they're well-known brands, but sort of smaller ones who aren't doing huge production, would struggle to compete at that price point with brands such as Canyon, Decathlon. I feel like they're brands that can better compete at that lower price point because they have the scale to order huge, vast quantities of group sets and components and frames and things. Yeah. And it's at that lower price point, the margins are less. And so for smaller brands, it's attractive for them to go for the more expensive product because you can make the business model work more easily. But to make lower cost bikes work, you'll have to operate on a lower margin.
Yeah. Then the numbers need to
and so then it needs to be at a much bigger scale.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. It's difficult to merge like sensible price points and performance, but I think there is the option to try to bring them closer together and make better bikes for more people at sensible prices. Yeah. And I think in like making them from materials that are gonna last a bit longer, be more sustainable, maybe they're recyclable, but I mean that's evolving with carbon as well, right? We're starting to see that become more readily reusable. But
that is something else that I would love to see in 2025. I don't know if we're going to see that, but it's just greater longevity. Like the bike industry is not as bad for this as other things. But this whole like throwaway society that we live in now, where it could be like your smartphone and you chuck it in the bin or whatever, you know, and like these people recycle things, but they end up in landfill in Ghana or somewhere.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know why I laughed. It's actually not.
It's
funny.
Horrible, yeah. But you know, cycling tends to be a lot better for this. But on the whole, I'd love to see things that are more repairable and last longer, and you know, and we are seeing some steps made towards that.
Yeah.
Instantly springs to mind Pirelli have made, tyres that are completely recyclable.
Yeah,
which is a big step forward in tyres.
The most important thing is, I think, gradually brands are evolving from feeling like they just have to do that for one or two products to then starting to introduce it to more of the wider range. I think that's cool. I also think I would like to see more wider tyres on road bikes becoming a thing. It doesn't have to be like performance, but I think it's just an easy way for road bikes to feel more comfortable.
It's like I'm presenting the show with Connor again.
Oh, really? Is Connor a big fan?
I asked Connor what he thought, and he was like, "Oh, wider tyres." I was like,
Okay, to a point.
predictable.
Not as far as what Connor would say. Yeah. Bearings that last longer. I know you've said about longevity, but yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, cycling's not as bad for this as other things, but that designed-in failure, washing machines that break like after 2 years and you have to replace it. It's like,
headset bearings are the ones that are the worst to replace.
Sustainable products that last or can be repaired. When a part of it fails and then you have to just bin the whole thing. Oh God, I really hate that.
Actually, talking about bearings, I was speaking to a friend of mine who works for a WorldTour team the other day, and he was saying that the mechanics are having a hard time because at almost every single race they're having to change the headset bearings on every bike, almost to the point of being like a single-use item. And I was like, man, that needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, that's those solid race bearings that they have in the...
SLT, solid lubrication technology.
Yeah, that Ceramic Speed uses in... Well, Pogacar's bike has it at. That's cool.
That's the kind of future, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we think is actually going to happen?
Fewer SKUs.
Sorry?
Sai did a show on this about... they did a GCN show on it, but it's that thing that Trek initiated.
Okay, right, go on, yeah.
Which is that slimming down the menu, where you have fewer individual bike models on offer. So I think, and potentially, trimming down the offerings so that you're not offering every different type of bike under the sun. You've got, one gravel bike.
Yeah.
You've got one. This is from major brands.
Yeah.
From a one performance bike.
And you think that's actually going to happen?
I think we're going to see more of that. Yeah, because it's more profitable from a business point of view.
I totally agree.
And the cycling industry has been struggling the last few years.
So I agree that I think some brands are going down that route, and obviously it makes more sense from like a profit and like ease of like every stage of manufacturing. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think it's going to go the other way, and I actually
more diversity in terms of bikes on offer.
Yeah, I think a bigger polarity between bikes. I'm going to say
Uber Aero.
I think Uber Aero is going to be more of a thing, and I think creating really light bikes that are like available to mass market, I think is going to be more of a thing. And I don't say I want to see that being the only way forwards, because we've seen lots of brands go, look, here's one bike that is the best bike for everything. But I'm never going to say someone's lying about something, but it's literally impossible to have one bike that's the best at everything.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can't be the lightest, the stiffest, the most aero. It just can't. It can be a balance, but it can't be everything. Which is why I think some brands are going to have to commit to going, this is the lightest, stiffest one we can make. This is the most aero one we can make.
Okay, so here's something that I think is a big, big step. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen in 2025. I want to know your thoughts. We already know that there's probably going to be Chinese group sets ridden at the Tour de France by Astana.
Yeah.
Who are technically still World Tour,
group sets
they're getting
frames.
relegated. Chinese components.
Okay, yeah.
Chinese frames.
Yeah, sorry.
Chinese frame.
Yeah.
But when do you think we will see a major sort of Western brand? I'm talking like Canyon, or Pinarello or Bayer, Specialized, Trek, those sorts of brands. Selling a bike that has OEM fitted Chinese components.
Oh.
I'm talking like L2, sensor group set, that sort of stuff. When do you think we'll see that in 2025?
2025, I don't see that happening. I just think as a shift in mindset for consumers, it's too big a step in too short a period of time. I hope that it happens because, like everything we've discussed, more like competitiveness in the market is going to make for two good things. The product should get better and the price should come down. So I think it will happen. I don't think it's going to happen in 2025. I think the hold that the big 3 group set manufacturers have got is too big to just diminish in that period of time.
If there is a big bike brand out there that wants to make a big splash with a bike launch on the internet, launch your bike with an OEM Chinese group set on it, because every cycling news website out there and media thing will speak about that, because it will be a big moment.
Oh, it'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, in a slight way, it's happened already. Like, Microshift was a brand that to some people was perceived in that same category, like smaller company, some people hadn't heard of it, and now like some bikes, some from big brands, have Microshift components on them.
That's been a long time.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Some of it's already happened, but that's taken ages. So I think we've got a long way to go. Yeah. Anyway, you can get involved in the comments section down below. Let us know your thoughts on both what you think is going to happen in the 2025 bike industry and what you would like to happen, and then Ollie's bonus question of when will we see those group sets perhaps
OEM. One thing though, I mentioned that I want to see cycling become more accessible and affordable.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to do as well, today I'm actually buying a vintage bike, and there'll be a video out at the weekend that we're going to turn around super quick of that bike, my journey to restore an old bike, because I want to show that cycling can be cheap and accessible and fun and not have to be super expensive. So I bought a bike for 109 quid.
I'm excited to see what it is. Subscribe, turn on notifications, GCN Tech, and you won't miss out, because I don't actually know what the bike is anymore.
Time now for Hot Tech. First up in Hot Tech this week, we have something big. It's the new Wahoo head unit, the Elemnt ACE. Came out a couple of days ago.
This is exciting.
Wow.
This is actually my one. I've saved this moment for on the tech show, right?
Mine's on my bike.
You ready? This is satisfying.
That is a... Wow. You're one of those people that normally leaves the screen protector on for at least a year before
No,
you
I'm
remove
not.
it. Yeah, you are.
That was good. Right, this is a big deal, okay? It's a big deal for everyone as consumers.
Finger mark on it.
And it's a big deal for Wahoo. This is their most... That's really upset me.
I know. I knew that would get you.
This is their most high-tech bike computer to date. Right, we need to talk about some of the stats of it. Obviously,
Here's with the stats.
Well, if you want to know everything, we have a full in-depth video all about it over on the GCN channel. But let's talk I think the biggest thing for most people is the wind sensor on the front. Okay, this is able to give you live, real-time data on how the wind is impacting your ride, and also the advantages of drafting behind other riders. It's got a class-leading screen, big colour screen, touch screen now, so that's a big update. 3.8 inches, 16 million colours. 208 grams it weighs. And I think basically the fact that the screen is bigger, I think, is really helpful for one, navigating, and also for the fact of, do you know what? It's not actually always easy to read your cycle computer when you're cycling, is it?
It's got big chunky battery life as well. Massive battery
30
life.
hours.
That's 30 hours, but using it with the screen and navigation and stuff. Not like, hypermiling it with like minimum functions.
Yeah, all of the features turned off. Turn the screen off, save battery life.
Yeah, they reckon they're being pretty conservative with that when they say 30 hours.
Okay.
Which makes it great for like epic stuff. I mean, it's a chunky boy.
I mean,
you're not going to want to fit that on your bike for the National Hill Climb Champs, but that's where the smaller unit, like the Bolt, would come in. But for a big ultra thing, or like where you really want to prioritise navigation and being able to see your data, blooming great. I've got mine on my... I fitted it onto my Canyon.
Yeah.
Rode in with it this morning. And absolutely loving it. Loving the massive screen. It's like... I wasn't sure about... Because it is big.
Yeah,
I was bloody great, and like really easy to set up with all your sensors.
Well,
and stuff as well.
I'm excited to set mine up actually, and also you can get different coloured like outer skins for it.
No, like a Nokia 5210.
I think it might be a bit better than a Nokia.
It's got Snake on it.
No, sorry.
So if you want to get your hands on one, then we have a competition running from the 3rd to the 13th of December. There's a link in the description below. Click on that, fill in your details. There are some terms and conditions. Unfortunately, it's not available to absolutely everyone, but it's free to enter, so give it a go. Right, what's next?
Next up, I said this, it was actually the first thing I said about Hot Tech. Campagnolo are back in the World Tour. So from 2025 onwards, I believe it's a 4-year agreement. Campagnolo are going to be the group set and wheel partner for the men's and women's Cofidis teams.
That's good, isn't it?
I think it is cool because we said it was a sad day when we saw Campagnolo leave the World Tour, and I think it's an exciting day for them to be back in it.
They should be in the World Tour.
And rightly so. Like, it's a brand with so much like history and heritage, and there's been so many cool innovations and things along the way. Yeah. I think it would be a shame to not see them there.
I think everyone wants to see Campagnolo succeed, don't they?
Yeah.
Next up, we've got some helmet tech.
Yeah, gravel helmets. Well, it's more of a gravel range within existing ranges of helmets, okay? So you've got 3 helmets, the All-Road, the Estro and the Trenta, and the collection's colours are natural and cinnamon to pay homage to nature and adventure. Apparently, earthy tones are complemented by contrasting sky blue or more harmonious green straps for a modern, clean look. The Trenta is the one that does that for me. I like that.
I'm into the Trenta. I love that helmet.
Yeah.
So next up in hot tech, your next set of wheels could have been tested by Mark Cavendish.
Yeah, so Mark Cavendish recently visited Vision's HQ in Taiwan to sort of celebrate a lot of his achievements over his career, because it's been absolutely fantastic. And I was looking through some of the images, and it would appear they had Mark Cavendish setting up the test rig for some of the wheels. So, completely unbeknown to anybody, in the future, you could buy a set of Vision wheels, and they might have been tested and calibrated by Mark Cavendish himself.
That's pretty cool. Although I'd probably prefer a set that have been done by a trained professional.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I feel like it might have just been for show, for the pictures. But it was a fun point nonetheless. Cause do you not think those Metron 60 SLs
I think they
really
probably they made it look like he did it, but then they got the trained professional to just check his homework afterwards.
Like when
when I've made anything in any factory ever.
Yeah. Okay, right, last thing in hot tech this week are the world's lightest pedals that you've got.
Check these out. These are absolutely incredible. They're called, they're by a brand called Aerolite, made in the States. And now these have been sent to us by Jason from Fairwheel Bikes, which you may recall is a shop that we visited about this time last year over in Tucson in Arizona. It's one of the coolest bike shops in the world, and they do all sorts of amazing stuff there. They do loads of testing, independent testing of cranks and stems and all sorts of stuff. And Jason specialises in making super lightweight builds. He actually built the bike that we did a video on, that was the crazy 3.6 kilo bike.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
remember that? Yeah.
Well, he may or may not be helping us build a super lightweight bike at the moment.
Yeah.
But as sort of a sneak preview to that, we have...
I've been waiting so long for you to get these out of the box.
These pedals. So these are Aerolites, and they are the lightest one they do. So they've got aerospace grade titanium axles and carbon fibre on them. I mean, they spin nice, but look at that. It's like a peg. Right?
Just to confirm to people that are unsure, that is the pedal.
That is the pedal, right? Now, in terms of functionality and how well these are to ride, I'm going to give them a go and actually find out. But if you are trying to just save weight, these are the way to go. Because this is just 30 grams, right?
Yeah.
30 grams for these pedals. Well, no, that's 30 grams.
Yeah, no, I think the clips are 17 grams.
Yeah, 17 grams for the cleat. That's the cleat, and it just slots into there like that. Now, right, to put that into context, Jura Ace pedals, which are top of the range, are 233 grams.
So they're 203 grams lighter
than Jura Ace. That's nuts, right?
Mad.
That's absolutely nuts.
And now, look, I'm going to throw it out there. I know you're going to ride them.
I can't wait to try them.
Perhaps longevity might not be their strong point, but I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know. I can't wait to try them out. There you go.
That's a pair of pedals. That was mad.
If you're a weight weenie, I mean, I love weight weenie stuff. It's great.
They spin well as well.
Yeah.
And right, you can have those, so I don't want to break them. Right, more hot tech next week.
Time now for comments of the week. These are comments that you've been leaving under our videos over the last week. Alex, what have we got first?
Well, the first one's from the show last week. Had you and Connor on, actually.
Yeah.
I had a little rest. Alex Jessup, 3638, says, has Ollie visited the Pirelli factory? Not sure he's mentioned it before.
Look, I do seem to mention that a lot, but it's because it was so incredibly interesting, if you're a nerd. there was just, it's an amazing place over in Milan, and they've got multiple factories, and there's just I mean, they employ something like 250 research scientists.
Yeah, to be fair, it is very cool.
Researching tyres across all different fields of tyres and rubber and stuff. But I mean, that alone is massive. It's like a research institute, because most university departments and research establishments don't have that many sort of PhDs all in one place.
I tell you what,
I was just...
Can I be honest
really
with you?
cool.
Can I be honest?
I really enjoyed it there.
I'm trying to play it cool, as if I don't care that I haven't
You
been.
would have loved it.
But I'm really
There was
jealous.
Formula One tyres everywhere, and there was stuff everywhere that I can't even tell the viewers about.
I'm so jealous that you got to go.
Because it was all top secret NDA Formula One tech and stuff.
Don't tell me, without you'll break the
I'm not going to tell you.
Right, okay, anyway. We've cleared up, you've been to the Pirelli factory. Jonas next, or... John's Faith, what are they?
Yeah.
Newton's for the law. Nothing stops a cyclist in motion, not even bad weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did actually say Newton's second law. I got mixed up with my Newtonian physics.
I actually thought better of you.
I made sure we corrected it in the edit. I
Great.
messaged Isaac and he sorted it out.
Yeah, good. Underneath my tyres rotational video, which I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make this video because it's not the most thrilling subject in the world, but it was interesting and fun to explore the reasons behind it all nonetheless.
It is to me, though. Do you know what, though? When I see someone and they've put their tyres on the wrong way round...
It upsets me.
Oh, I'm like... When you're on the start line of a race and you look down at the person next to you and their tyres, a directional tyre, and it's on the wrong way round, I'm just like...
You should tell them...
Like, when they're head, and then that's it, they're psychologically broken.
When the person starting the event is like 5 seconds to go, you're like, oh, just so you know, your tyres are on the wrong way, bye.
That is like a Sean Kelly move.
Yeah. Ben GT_Axel. If you look at the direction of the swirl of water going down the drain in the southern hemisphere, you'll notice it's the opposite to the case of the northern hemisphere. This is why you can also use directional bike tyres in the opposite direction. Who knew?
Do you know what, right? I've never been to the southern hemisphere. Fun fact.
Okay.
There you go, fun fact. So I don't know if that's true. Because that's when I eventually do make it to the southern hemisphere, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the toilet and flush it and see what happens.
See if it spins the other way around. Yeah. Next question,
it's
comment.
from Philip Humphrey, who says, in the old days of rim brakes, if you put a front tyre the wrong way round, you could simply take the wheel off the bike, turn it around. A couple of times I've inadvertently put a tyre on the wrong way round on a rear wheel and couldn't be bothered to take it off the rim again, and it seemed to make no difference whatsoever.
Well, this is the downside of what you got disc brakes, because you can't just spin your front wheel around.
Yeah, but it does. If a tyre is directional, it does make a very slight difference.
Yeah, it does. Well, and if you still don't believe us, just watch the video.
Yeah.
Underneath the Christmas guide, I picked this question out. You read it out.
It's from Tony Sadler, who says, how about the new sculpted GCN Dan Lloyd bodysuit? You can enjoy Dan's health successors without the 7 months of effort.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it'll be a big seller.
Maybe I'll ask one for Christmas. Yeah, maybe I will.
Get it made as a skin suit.
That'd be good, aero. Okay, right, it's on to the Bike Vault. This is the part of the show where you upload your bikes into the Bike Vault. We pick them out and judge them to be either nice or super nice. If they're super nice, we ring the bell. However, because we're in our new house, I don't actually know where the bell is.
Oh, I do.
Where is it?
I'll go get it. I left it downstairs. Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the kitchen.
Oh, great.
I found it. It wasn't in the kitchen. It was in the utility.
Of course.
Yeah. Hamish Ellis up first. And he's got this. Hand-built Ellis Briggs with SRAM Rival Access.
Love that.
What do you make of that?
Absolutely love it. Shame it's not in the big ring.
It's a solid winter setup there, isn't it? With the guards.
A lot of respect for that.
Fenders.
Fending off the dirt.
You like it because it's got a brown saddle, matching brown saddlebag and brown bar tape.
It's a thumbs up from me.
I think it's nice. I like that. I think it's super nice.
Super nice.
We'll be nice on that one. It's near Christmas. Drew Jones.
Oh.
Canyon Ultimate CF Disc. DI2.
Who picks these bikes out? Brown saddle, brown bar tape.
I can't. I mean, what's it doing on the carpet?
I'm actually going to say I don't like this one.
No, I don't like where it's been positioned. It's on the carpet, and I know the other one wasn't in Biggie Smalls, but I can't let that slide twice.
Nice.
It's a nice. But do you know what's interesting about this one? It's got a 404 and an 808. Do you remember back in the day, Zip used to sell that as a wheel set and they called it the 606?
No.
And they don't do that anymore. You either just buy 808s or you buy 404s. But that used to be a thing, the smaller front wheel and the bigger back wheel.
Other brands do that stuff.
Envy often used to sell different size wheels, front and rear as a set.
Yeah.
But it's not something. It's fallen out of fashion.
I don't like it.
You don't tend to see that often.
I think you have to have matching front and rear.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Next up is Tom J. They say...
Do you reckon it's Tom Jones?
Yeah, I think it is. Saw your tech video this week. Wanted to share my custom bike build. In that case, it's definitely Tom Jones.
Lab 71. Tom Jones could definitely afford a Lab 71.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd probably have new 12-speed Dura-Ace, though.
You sure he wouldn't go for something more unusual? That's the big boy chainring. Oh, that's a super nice. Come on.
It's upsetting me how it's lent.
Against.
Is it a wall or a tree?
That is a record for the biggest stick he used to prop up a bike.
In that case, I think we can supervise it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Frank Navarro next, he said that some people learned to bake during COVID, and I learned to build a bike through GCN tech videos.
Good.
And he said this build, it nearly got me divorced.
Kidding, sort of.
Ooh, sounds a bit... I hope not.
He's like sort of made that joke and then maybe his partner's seen him typing out and he was like, kidding.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, I think it looks incredible. That's a beautiful tarmac, isn't it?
Yeah. I love the shape of those new SRAM levers.
Yeah, they do look good, don't they? Nice and aero.
I would like to point out... Oh, okay, I can be forgiven. I was going to say the valves are too long, but they're tyre whiz pressure sensor valves, so they've got to be a bit longer.
Yeah, and he's got RS, Pirelli P0 RSs on there.
Yeah.
Loving that. I think that's
super nice.
Really nice, super nice.
Super nice.
Good choice of wall for the bike. Like it.
Good. Who's next? It's a trusty second-hand Triban RC 500 in gravel mode.
Love the Triban RC 500. And this is during a big gravel ride in the Portuguese winter. I would not have guessed that was Portugal.
No.
Would you?
No, I'd have said it was Stockport.
Yeah. Or Rotherham.
Or Rotherham. Well, that's a lovely perspective the bridge is giving.
Yeah.
I'm having to go close on the picture, though.
It is. The bike's...
But I'm...
do you know what? We can see. We'll super.
I would like to super.
Let's super nice it.
Yeah, it's the last one for this week. Super nice.
Go. Right.
Well, that's it.
Great.
Show's done.
Good.
First show on a new house done and dusted. Come on,
Loving
fist bump that. Thanks. Yeah. You know when you sit back and look at someone else's hard work, and you think that was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I do like it. Right. Well, let us know what you think of the new house, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. We're going to go now. Love you. Bye.
Bye.